Aongelic, and I would like to thank you for joining me today on the mat for Vinyasa Flow. I will be supporting all levels in this practice. We will work on some strength and some endurance, a little bit of flexibility and core. If you have available to you a couple of blocks and a strap, you may need those at certain points throughout the practice. Right now, let's start in easy seated position with your palms resting on your knees. A nice long straight back with your shoulders up, back, and down. Your navel drawn into your spine, and just close your eyes. And enjoy your natural breath. It's so important right now that you realize that the only thing that really matters is what's going on right now, presently. Not what you left before you came to the mat and whatnot, anything that you have planned or scheduled for after you leave your mat. The only thing that's important is that you took time for you, for your wellness, for your peace. Think of every time that you come to the mat as a restart of something great, like just a new beginning. Let's start with some belly breathing. You can place one hand on your belly. Breathe in deeply, expanding your belly, and then push it all out through your mouth. Inhale, exhale. If you're inhaling on the count of three, hold that top. Be sure to exhale on the count of three. But you do this at your own pace. On your next inhale, hold it at the top. Close your lips together and then breathe out through your nose. Inhale, out through your nose. This is our Ujjayi breath. It should be audible and reminiscent of the ocean. This is the breath that you want to maintain throughout the practice. To help keep you calm during those more challenging moments. And to just be there for you even when you think you don't need it. Because you always need your breath. And no matter what your pose looks like, because it doesn't matter. You're doing yoga. You're breathing. You're moving your body. You're enjoying what your body is doing for you. Even with any limitations you may have. We all are perfectly imperfect. And that's what makes us special. And everything that we do special. Bring your hands to your heart center And take this time to set an intention for your practice or a dedication to someone you love or to yourself. Open your eyes. Let's get started. If you sit on any cushion or anything, move that to the side. We're going to start on our backs. And guess what? We're going to mix it up a little bit. Many times in most practices, core comes much, much later after you're all warmed up and everything. I find that core warms me up more than anything, so why don't we mix it up and start with core? So let's bring our knees into our chest first of all and just roll around on our spines. Be sure that we keep our tailbones into the mat. You don't want to be like this. It's too much stress on that lumbar. Keep your tailbone pressed into the mat while you're rolling around on the spine, and then straighten your legs with your toes pointed directly at the ceiling. Bring your arms out to the side with your palms facing each other, and then you're going to draw that navel. You're going to draw this entire area in as if you are wearing a corset. You want to really dig deep into that transverse abdominis. Take your arms out to the side with your palms facing each other. Raise those shoulders off the mat. During this core exercise, we're only moving our shoulders. Nothing else. Everything is staying static. Inhale, exhale, hold it here at the top. Inhale, lower. Exhale, bring it up. Really dig deep in that transverse. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep it going on your own breath. Keep a nice long neck. No wrinkles in your neck, no hyperextension of that neck. And don't bring your chin to your chest. Just keep a nice, long, straight neck. 5 more. Hold it at the top. Open those legs. Take the palms of your hands together between your legs. And let's do the V-up crunches. Five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Bring your legs back together. Take your legs over to your left and bring your hands over to your right. Bringing that left shoulder up off the mat and crunch. 5 more. Hold it there. Let's do the other side. Oops. Oops. 4 more. 3, 2. Hold it at the top. Come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest. And roll around on that spine. Raise your legs up. Just gonna do one more set, but shorter sets and double time. Raise your shoulders up off the mat. In these sets, you will not be lowering your shoulders. You're gonna stay with your abdominals with your abdominals contracted the entire time and your shoulders off the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Open your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your legs back together. Over to the left. Your legs over to the left. Your hands to the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest. Vinyasa. Lower that left leg to the mat, pressing that heel into the mat. Take the outside of your right knee with your left hand, and let's get a gentle sideline twist. It's still early on in the practice, and even though we have warmed up this core area a lot, you may not be able to get that knee all the way to the mat. Maybe you will. But the most important thing, if you have to choose between having your shoulders into the mat or your knee, choose your shoulders. Bring that knee back to center. Draw it into your chest. And then lower that leg and bring your left knee in. Grab that left knee with your right hand. And then let's do sideline twist on the other side. And remember to breathe. Bring that knee back to center. Bring the other knee back up to meet it. Lower those feet to the mat with your knees still bent. Take your arms out to the side with your palms face down. Draw that navel in. Tuck that tailbone. Bring your knees as close to your bum as you can. I personally can't. I have very, very limited flexibility in my knees from years of long distance running. So you're going to see in this practice where there's some things where my knees are going to hold me back a little bit, but you know what? I work with what I have, and I'm just loving what my body will let me do. So so don't worry about at all what any of your poses look like. You just do you. Okay, so inhale. And then on the exhale, raise up into bridge, drawing those shoulder blades in toward each other, your navel into your spine, pressing those palms into the mat, drawing those thighs in toward each other as if you're holding a block, and breathe. On each inhale, release just a little, and then on each exhale, push a little bit more into that bridge. And now lower on 3, 2, 1. We're going to do that one more time. Raise up into your bridge. And then lower on 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees back into your chest. Take your chin into your chest and just roll up into a ball, keeping that tailbone into the mat though the whole time, and roll around. Okay, release out of that. Bring your feet back to the mat. Turn over, and let's go into tabletop. Inhale. Exhale. Have your fingers spread wide and your fingertips pressed firmly into the mat. Your wrists directly below your shoulders. Your feet pressed into the mat with your hips directly above your knees. And breathe. On an inhale, press that chest through your biceps, arching that back. On an exhale, tuck your chin into your chest, curving that back. And repeat. Cat-cow. Repeat on your own breath. One more time. And come back to a neutral tabletop. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips into your first downward facing dog. Try to externally rotate those biceps. Have a nice long straight back. Your navel drawn into your spine. Your feet about hips width apart. And breathe. Lower your knees to the mat. Spread your knees and push back into child's pose. This is where I want you to go anytime you're feeling that you need to take a rest. If you notice me, I can't push all the way back into child's pose. My child's pose looks more like puppy because of these bad knees that I have. It doesn't matter though. This is where I would go for rest. And you do whatever you need to do for your rest. Bring your hands back to the side of your face. Press back up into tabletop. Curl those toes and then go back into your downward facing dog. Bend those elbows and those knees and then push your hips back toward that back wall. And then roll forward and boom, you're in chaturanga. Press up into plank, back into chaturanga, and then press back with your knees and your elbows bent, and then go back up into your downward facing dog. That was a little bit of a variation on getting into that chaturanga that I learned from one of my favorite instructors. I love watching that man. Let's do that one more time. Bend your knees, your elbows, press those hips back, and then roll forward into chaturanga. Press up into plank, back to chaturanga, and then back to your bent knees and arms, and then hips up to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet and just hang there in Uttanasana. You can grab onto your elbows, you can move around a little bit, or you can just hang there. Enjoying the releasing your spine from the weight of your head. And really draw that navel in and rest your torso on your thighs and have your knees slightly bent. This is another really nice rest pose, I think. I really love my head being below my heart. It relaxes me and makes me feel better than most things. So this is another place you can go if you want to rest. Walk your hands back out into downward facing dog. Roll forward into your plank. Really press into those fingertips, spreading those shoulder blades apart, drawing that navel into the spine. Get up on those toes. Shift forward, go down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Roll forward into your plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, raise that right leg up into three-legged dog. Be sure that your toes are facing the mat, pointed toward the mat, that your hamstrings are facing the ceiling. You should be able to feel some activation in those hamstrings if you're doing this correctly. Your thighs are drawn in toward each other. Bend that knee, bring it in toward your chest. Hold it there. Take it back into three-legged dog. Let's do that another second time. Three-legged dog, one more time, and hold it. Three-legged dog, and step that right foot to the outside of that right hand. Turn that back foot parallel to your mat, to the back of your mat, and raise up into your first warrior two. You want to have your arms straight out, like as if you're trying to touch both walls, your front and your back wall. You want to have your shoulders up, back, and down, nice straight back. Your navel drawn into your spine. Your knees bent as close to 90 degrees as you can get them. Your torso directly above your hips. and breathe. Extend forward as far as you can, just like you're trying to reach that front wall. Block. I need a block. If you have a block, grab that block, put it to the outside of that front foot. Sweep that hand in front of your face, and then take it over for extended side angle, and breathe. Windmill your hands down to the mat. Raise that right leg back into three-legged dog, and then bring that foot back to meet your left foot. Raise your left leg, bend that knee, bring it towards your chest. Once, twice, 3 times, hold it there. Raise back up into three-legged dog, and then step that left foot out to the outside of that left hand. And come up into your warrior 2 on this side, and breathe. Extend forward as far as you can with your blocking hand if you need it. Sit that block to the outside of your left foot. Sweep that hand in front of your face and then over for extended side angle. Windmill your hands down to the mat. Go into that plank pose. Exhale into chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. And breathe. Roll forward to that plank. Chaturanga. Plank. Chaturanga. Plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Raise that right leg. Knee to your chest. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Extend that leg back to three-legged dog. Take that foot to the outside of your right hand. Open up to warrior 2. Reach forward, extend forward, sweep that hand in front of your face, extended side angle. Straighten that leg, come up, extend forward again, triangle pose. Sweep that hand in front of your face and over for extended triangle. Raise that right hand. A little bit more of core work. Take your left hand to the mat. Turn that back foot where it's facing the front of the mat. Bring your block to the inside of that right foot. Raise that right hand, opening up into revolve triangle. You may want to have your back foot angle a little bit toward that left corner of the mat, or you may want to have it straight. At any rate, your feet should be about hips width apart, as if you're on railroad tracks. And breathe. Remove that block. Windmill your hands to the mat. Raise that right leg, three-legged dog, and then lower that foot back to the mat for downward facing dog. Raise that left leg. Bring that knee in. 3, 2, 1. Back to three-legged dog. Step that left foot out. Open up into warrior two on your left side. Extend forward, capturing that block. Sweep that right hand in front of your face and then over your head for extended side angle. Straighten that leg. Come back up to standing with your arms out. Then extend forward again, triangle pose. Bring that right hand down, bring that block to the inside of that left foot. Turn that back foot toward the front of the mat, and then raise that left hand up, opening up into revolve triangle. Remove that block, windmill your hands down, come to plank pose. Chaturanga, plank, chaturanga, plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And breathe. A little bit of house cleaning. This is real work here, people. Raise that right leg. Bend that knee. Bring it into your chest. 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Back to three-legged dog. Step that right foot forward. Open up into your warrior two. Extend forward. Capture your block. Extended side angle. Stand up, straightening that front leg. Extend forward. Triangle pose. Sweep that hand in front of your face and then over for extended triangle. Raise that bottom arm. Core work there. Then bring that left, bending that right knee. Bring that block to the inside of that right foot. Bring that left hand down to the block, and then open up into a revolve triangle. Take that block about 6 inches in front of your foot to the inside of your foot though, and then bend that right knee, raise that left leg up, and then open up into revolve Ardha Chandrasana. Revolve half moon. Lower that right hand, bringing that block over. You're going to open up. Placing that hand on the block with your leg parallel to your hips, or at least as high as your hips, for half moon pose. Take both hands back to the mat. Raise that right leg, three-legged dog, and then lower that foot to meet the other foot. Raise that left leg, bend that knee. 3, 2, 1, hold it. Three-legged dog. Step that left foot forward. Open up. Warrior two. Extend forward, wrapping that block, bringing that block to the outside of that left foot, sweeping that hand in front of your face and then over for extended side angle. Straighten that leg, come up to standing with both arms parallel to the mat. Extend forward, lowering that left hand to the block for triangle pose. Sweep that hand in front of your face and then over for extended triangle. Raise that bottom arm up, a little bit more core work, and breathe. Take that block to the inside of your left foot. Turn that back foot toward the front of the mat. Placing your right hand on the block and then opening up into a revolved triangle. Take that block up a few inches in front of your foot. Raise that back leg. Step back so I'm in view. We're in revolved half moon. Lower that left hand to the block. Put it to the other side of your foot, a little bit in front of, a few inches ahead, and then open up into half moon pose. Remove that block. Windmill your hands down to the mat, raising that left leg up into three-legged dog, and then lowering it to meet the other foot. Roll forward into plank, chaturanga, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. You can stay in downward facing dog, or you can take this down to child's pose for rest. I am going to walk my hands back to my feet. And this is my rest pose of choice. Just dangle there in Uttanasana. Walk your hands back out to downward facing dog. Raise that right leg. Step it through. And then open up to the wide edge of your mat. Taking up as much of your mat as you can. Slightly pigeon toeing. Like have your toes slightly turned in. Placing your hands on your hips. Inhale, and on an exhale, go halfway down. If you need a block, you can place it directly here in front of your face, and this is good enough. If this is as far as you can go, we're going for a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. We're not going for any pain or anything. You just want to feel a nice stretch. You can stay here. You can place your hands on your hips and stay here. Or if you want to go a little further, fold all the way down. You may leave your hands on your hips. You can take your hands directly in front of your face, or you can take them out to the outside of your feet, or you can grab your toes. And breathe. If your hands are not already on your hips, place them on your hips. Inhale. Exhale, go just a little bit deeper into this stretch. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale. And on an inhale, come all the way up. Bring your feet, heel-toe your feet in a couple of times. You want to be maybe 3 feet, have your feet maybe 3 feet apart. You want to pivot your feet to the right and have your feet where they are about hips width apart, as if you're on railroad tracks. I have to have both of my feet going straight, directly toward the front wall. Some people like to have the back foot just a little bit toward the corner. Whatever feels good for you. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, and on exhale, fold over that front leg for pyramid pose. You may have to stay up here. This is a good place for a block, by the way. You may need to stay up here and you'll still feel that stretch in that hamstring just fine. I feel it here, actually. I just need a little bit more because I am super flexible in my hamstrings. So if you are like me and you want to get a little bit more, go a little bit deeper, that's great. If you want to stay here, you're still doing what you need to do. You're still getting the benefits of the pose. Inhale, exhale, fold over. If your hands are not already on your hips, place them there now. Inhale, exhale, go a little bit deeper, just one last breath. And then inhale, come all the way up and pivot to the other side. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Pyramid pose on your left. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, exhale, one more deep stretch there. And then inhale, raise all the way up and then turn back toward the front of your mat. And then bring your feet together. We're just going to do just a little bit of balance before we go down to the mat. Take the palm of your left hand and right hand out toward the right side. Raise your left hand up, straight up toward the ceiling. Bend that right knee and really press into that left foot with and have a slight bend in that knee. Grab the inside of that right foot or ankle. Inhale, and then exhale, bring that foot up behind you. But keep your front body lifted. And then start to tilt forward. Hold it there. And then slowly come out of the pose. Let's do that on the other side. Really spread those toes and press into that right foot with a slight bend and that right knee. Take the palm of your hand out to the left hand out to the side. Raise that right hand. Bend that left knee, and then capture that ankle or that foot in the left hand. And then start to extend backwards, keeping your front body lifted. Oh, dancer's pose. I didn't name the pose last time. Dancer's pose. When you have that foot as high as far up as you can get it, then start to tilt forward. Hold it there. And then slowly come out of that pose. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. This is a nice long stretch. Exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, raise all the way up. Hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. Nice long stretch with a baby back bend. Hands to heart center. One more time through. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise halfway up. Exhale, fold all the way down. And then let's come down to our hands and our knees. Curl your toes. Come back into plank pose. Hold it there. And then on the count of 3, lower slowly to your mat. Rest your chin on your mat or your forehead. Taking your arms out to your side. Palms face down. And inhale. Well, you want to first, I need to walk you through this first. Sorry about that. Really press those hips into the mat, but draw that navel into the spine. And draw those shoulders down. And then on an inhale, raise everything from the mat. Your shoulders, your chest, your thighs, your legs, your feet, your arms, everything. Raise everything from the mat. Inhale, exhale. On inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Release just a little bit on every exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more full breath. Inhale. Hold it up there at the top. Really raise those, everything up, your legs, everything. And then lower down, resting on your right cheek. Let's press back up into your tabletop, and then let's swing our feet, legs around to the front of our mat. Move that flesh out of the way. And then let's just go into an easy forward fold. We're not really trying to do anything, but just to get rid of like a little bit of tension and stuff. Just fold forward and just flop and, just melt into this. Not going for a stretch or anything, you're going for a release. Really trying to feel a release in that spine. Just let your head flop. Press your fingertips into the mat and then slowly come up out of this forward fold. Bend that left knee and cross that foot over that right leg. And then just pull your knee and your chest together, really straightening that back. Raise that right arm up and then grab around that knee. Inhale, and then on the exhale, placing your left hand behind your sacrum and pressing the palm of your hand into the mat, going to a twist to your left. One more full breath, inhale, and then exhale. Really get into that twist. Then come back to center, uncross that leg, and then bend that left foot back in half Virasana. As I told you earlier, I have very limited flexibility in my knees, so there's no way I could ever do full Virasana. But I have gained a lot of flexibility in my yoga with my yoga practice. I couldn't do this years ago. So inhale and then exhale, lower back. You may want to stay here. You may want to stay on your elbows. But if you have it in your practice, lay back into this half of Virasana. Getting a nice stretch in that quadricep. You want to have your thighs as close together as you can get them. And you want to try to be sure that left knee, that left thigh is really pressed into the mat and drawn in toward that right thigh. I've come so far with my knee flexibility. It's just that there's so much damage that you can do when you run long distance for 27 years that I probably won't ever have full flexibility, but at least, I've definitely gained a lot of ground. There was no way I could lay back and have Virasana a few years ago, and now I can, and comfortably. And this should be comfortable. There should be, like, of course you're gonna feel like that stretch, but you're not going for any kind of real discomfort or anything. Stretching should feel good, especially as warm as we are with as much as we've done. This stretch should actually feel good. And if it doesn't, you need to adjust and come up to where it does feel good for you. Maybe you can lay back on a bolster, or use your props. That's what they're there for. Let's have two more full breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And to get out of this pose, roll away from that thigh. So since we're stretching the left thigh, you're gonna roll over to your right, bend that right knee, and then bring that left leg on top of that right knee. Lay there just for a moment, and then come back on your back and bring that left knee into your chest. Straightening that right leg out to the mat again. Then straighten that left leg, because we have to do a counter pose for that. And you can either keep your hands behind your hamstring, behind your calf, or if it's in your practice, you can grab your foot. At this point, if you have a strap, this is a great time to use that strap. And breathe. And on each inhale, release out of this stretch just a little bit. And then on each exhale, come a little bit deeper into this stretch. And you're not, like I said before, there should be no pain. You should just feel a nice stretch. And this is the best time because your muscles they're all so warm. So you should be able to make some real progress in your, with your flexibility at this point. This is a great time to stretch. Be sure that you have that the heel of that right foot, press that into the mat because we don't want to just flail on the right side. We want to keep your whole body active. Take your left hand to the inside of that left foot, and then open up that leg to the left for that inner thigh stretch. You want to be sure that both shoulders are still into the mat, and you want to have open hips. You're not going to necessarily have this hip all the way to the mat, but you don't want it closed either. You want open hips. You should be able to feel even like a somewhat of a stretch in this right hip. Take that arm out to the side where it's in line with your shoulder and breathe. And if you have to have that foot up here to feel that stretch, that's where you have that. That's where you need to have it because everyone has different range of motion. Everybody isn't the same. Bring that leg back to center. Bend that knee, and then grab the outside of that knee, and then cross it over that right thigh. Going back to that sideline twist that we worked on earlier in the practice. You should be able to go a lot further right now because you've done so much work and you really warmed this body up. And I mean, it feels so good to me right now. And I can go all the way to the mat now, whereas I couldn't at the beginning of practice. And it feels so good on my spine. And just be sure that your shoulder blades are both in the mat. So even if you still can't get if you can't get that knee all the way down, you just want to be sure that your shoulder blades are into the mat. Bring that knee back to center. Bring it into your chest and off to the side for wind release and pose. Roll over to your side. Push up. Then we're going to do all that on the other side. Cross that right foot over that left knee. Raise that left arm and then grab that knee. Taking that right hand back behind your sacrum and really press the palm of your hand into the mat as you stretch to your right. You should feel a really nice stretch in that hip. One more full breath. Inhale and really twist, get in that twist nice and deep. And then come back to the front. Take that right knee, bend that right knee where your foot is going back toward the back of the mat. Bring your thighs in as close as you can for Havirasana on this side, and lay back as far as your body will take you. I love this pose, even though I have my knee issues. This feels so good to me after I'm nice and warm. Okay, bend that left knee over to your left and then roll over away from that right leg. Hold it there for a second and then come back to your back. Straightening that left leg out to the mat. Bringing that knee into your chest. And then straightening that right leg and going into your hamstring stretch on this side. And breathe. And remember to release just a little bit on every inhale. And then on every exhale, just go a little deeper into that stretch. This is the best time to do it. Grab the inside of that right foot with your right hand. Take that left hand out to the side where the arm is lined up with your shoulder. And then open this left leg for your stretch to your inner thigh on your right side. And breathe. And be sure that you have open hips and that your shoulders are pressed into the mat. Bring that leg back straight up. Bend that knee and then capture the outside of that right knee with your left hand and then twist over to your left. This is my favorite thing to do. Your spine is meant to move in all different directions, and it feels so good when you actually put that to effect when you actually do that. Bring that knee back up. Straighten that leg out to the mat, taking your feet out to either corner of your mat. Your hands out to your sides. Shavasana, just sink into your mat and reward yourself for everything that you just did. You are a boss. You did it. Start to deepen your breath. Bring your movement back into your body. Bring your hands together over your head, your legs together. Give yourself a nice long stretch from your fingertips all the way down to your toes. Turn to your favorite side. Bring your knees into your chest. Hold it there just for a moment. And when you're ready, come back into your easy seated position where we started off. Make some adjustments here. Oh, that felt good to me, and I hope you feel the same way. I'm so grateful that you joined me today, and I hope that you will come back and meet me on the mat again real soon. Bring your hands to heart center, and then to your third eye. I bow to you. Namaste.